first kid in high school. She's 18 now, and she's pretty amazing kid. She graduated last week. She wants to be a psychotherapist. I said, it's great because you can help me. But my mom gave me a choice. She said, you do construction, it's very seasonal kid now. It's time for you to grow up. And I have very strict parents when I was growing up. And when I told them I was having a kid, they basically said, you're going to have to be a grown-up now, kicked me out of the house, and said, you have to be, you want to play adult, be an adult. So I got 3 jobs and started trying to support my family. And she said, why don't you be a hairdresser? She gave me a choice. She said, join the Navy or be a hairdresser. And her thought was, those both will always have money coming in frequently, right? She said, if you join the Navy, you get to see the world and travel and do all these things. If you be a hairdresser, everybody always needs haircuts. She thought I'd be working in supercuts, basically. That was her idea of hair. And I said, do I want to be on a ship with a bunch of guys? Or do I want to work with a bunch of women? That was kind of easy. So I went and joined school. How much did you guys pay for school? $17,500. $17,500. You guys are lucky because the night school paid $18,000. $17,500. In San Diego, it's $25,000. Yeah. So I decided to go to beauty school, and you guys are really lucky when you look at the school you have and the support you have. I mean, Deanne and Eric are amazing people, and you know, when I was doing the shows, Deanne was always our support, and it's always good to have support to help you get to where you're at. And she's helped nurture many, 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 many educators and hairdressers. So imagine the possibilities you guys have with the ideas of where you want to go. You have somebody who can help you get to all those avenues, because she did video, she did photography, she did the show, she did the education part. I mean, she's done all of that stuff. I went to school where I didn't have that. When I told my teacher I wanted to work for Paul Mitchell, she told me don't aim so high. Yeah. In my school, when I went to school, I paid $300 for school. $300 bucks. Isn't that crazy? Yes. You said you'd like to pay $300. In my school, 9 people got shot. Oh. In the school. If I take you to the school right now, you'll see bullet holes in the windows from the drive-by shootings that still haven't changed. 6 people got stabbed, and they stabbed each other because they were mad at each other, so they stabbed each other with scissors. My second week in school, I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I see this chair flying through the air, and some guy was mad at the other guy in front of him, so he decided to throw the chair at him. That's the type of school I went to. It's a big difference, yeah? Yeah. That wouldn't happen here, right? No. If one of your learning leaders told you don't aim so high, I think Wynn would take them and hang them outside. Right? To show everybody, like, this is not how you're treated. Right? There's a difference in culture and community, and when I mean culture, I don't mean Mexican or black, I mean and what you are in. Right? The culture I was in that school was completely different than what you had. What I would do is I would get mad when I saw people on my books. And I'd be like, why do I have 5 people on my books? I only want to do 2 today. Like, what do you want to do the rest of the day? I want to hang out in the back with everybody and smoke cigarettes and eat chicken wings. And I didn't even smoke cigarettes. But that's what everybody did as hairdressers, because I didn't have an idea of what hairdressing was. My mom just said be a hairdresser, and I thought it was cool, and I thought when I started to speak to people, the idea of being a hairdresser was pretty amazing. I could be my own boss. How many of you love that idea? Right? How many of you kind of, when you thought about hair, said, oh, I can be my own boss, so that's kind of something cool that I can do? Yeah. Right? I can dress how I want to dress. Yep. Right? How many of you are shocked when you come to school and you had to wear all black? Right? I can keep my own money. Right? Big incentives to be a hairdresser. Right? And these are 3 things that are pretty like wow when you think about why people become hairdressers. Why did you go to school and choose hairdressing? I've had people say, well, because it's easy. It's quick, 10 months and I'm done. Right? Some of you, maybe? Right? No? How many of you were excited to start school when you first thought about being a hairdresser? Me. Right? How many of you after 6 months were like, damn, what did I do? Right? How many of you, when you told somebody you wanted to be a hairdresser, told you don't do it, do something else? Right? Do you guys understand why that happens? Yes. Who set you up over here? Why?
Because they think it's just like a hobby. That's what my mom told me. She was like, that's just a hobby career.
Yeah.
Why don't you go for nursing or something else?
Yeah. Nursing. That you would make good money, or you wouldn't? You wouldn't. So how many of you researched what being a hairdresser is? did you research?
I researched all the schools here in Fresno, and then I researched like the commission and what kind of salons you could work into, like commission or running your own booth, and how much you make.
Do you know how much the average hairdresser in the United States makes?
16.
16?
60.
60?
Yeah.
The real?
So that's
Average.
so that's like
19,000. 19,000. I say this, and I'm going to say a couple things in statistics, because I want you to get an idea. When you think about what we do, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I travel and I see things, and I get people that come up here and teach, and I know a lot of them, and they want to tell how great they are and what they do and all this good stuff, but they never tell you the hard parts of what it took to get there. What I see with hairdressers is a lot of them quit because they don't understand what it's going to be to get to where they're going. You know, how hard it's going to be, what they're going to have to do, and what hairdressing really is. A lot of people do see it as a hobby. A lot of people see it as something quick and easy, and I can get into it, and I can make some fast money, and it's cool. When you think about the world and what we do and how we do it as hairdressers, but not only hair, but everything else, the supply and demand of things and what's important to people. How important is hair in somebody's life?
very
So if it's that important, why are we looked at differently? Why are we looked at as it's just a hobby or those things? So you got to look deep into it, and it comes down to how we do business. You know, hairdressers, they have this stereotype. You're either gay, tattooed, pierced, alcoholic, druggie, flake,
party animal.
a party person, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Right.
Is that sad?
But that's what people
Is that
think
what you
of
guys
us.
are? Like maybe, right? You know what I mean. You might like to have a couple drinks every once in a while, but that doesn't make you an alcoholic. You know, you might have tendencies to do certain things, but that's not who you are as a person. And what we do as hairdressers is we touch people, we change people's lives, and that's an important thing that we do. And what I want you guys to understand is how we do it, and what we do is what's important. When I went to work for Robert, I had left school, and I had gone to work at Fantastic Sam because my teacher told me don't aim so high. And in those 2 months that I was there, I wanted to quit doing hair completely because it wasn't what I thought hairdressing was. I had no idea what it was, but it wasn't what I thought it was. And it wasn't until I got to work with Robert that I got to see, he showed me how to be a hairdresser. Not how to cut hair, not how to blow dry, what hairdressing was. And what he showed me was, he said, think like a doctor. Think of what doctors do. Why do doctors get so much respect? Why do doctors get looked at different? Why do I, get to charge what I charge and drive what I drive and own what I own? And when people look at me, they don't see me as that hobby hairdresser or the slacker or what people think we are. How many of you have gone to salons and got your hair done and had the hairdresser sitting in a chair eating food? Right? Or the hairdresser was late. Or they smelled like cigarettes. Or they picked up the phone and started talking while they were doing your hair. Have you experienced that?
Yes.
Right? See, there's a value that people put on people in the United States or all over the world. Right? Like when you guys want to go to a nice restaurant, where do you go?
Not impressive.